Welcome back. All right, so I'm going with something different because Saturday's my birthday, so I figured, I wanted to wear something fun. I've worn most of the geeky jerseys that are fun. So I'm wearing my Las Vegas t-shirt, which I like to wear to remind me that I really enjoy going to Las Vegas. I have every intention of going there this summer. And my Oswald shirt, which reminds me of Disney, as does this NASA hat that I got our last trip down for Disney. So we have 13 games on Saturday, and then we have two games on Super Bowl Sunday. I have two previews for the price of one, which is free. Free programming. All right, so starting with four games at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 o'clock Eastern, and then 2.5 hours later, this game here. So these four games I will review, likely in between the first and second period of this game, and then I will try to find the time to review this game in between the first and second period of this one before we get into all the rest. So then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games would be reviewed late. There are no 7:30 starts, so the NHL's merciful there. And then just the two games on Sunday, which are both early starts. So starting at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, the St. Louis Blues and against the Buffalo Sabres. St. Louis is 26-21-2 overall. They're 6-3-1 in their last 10. We're playing well going into the break. Thomas, over the last 12 months, so I just put in last 12 months to see who the top scorer is. Ennis Thomas, 74 games, 23 goals, 51 assists, 74 points. So a point per game over the last calendar year. For Buffalo, they're 22-24-4 overall. They're 5-5 in their last 10. Casey Mittelstadt, their top scorer in the last year, 82 games, 20 goals, 53 assists, 73 points for Mittelstadt, who's due a new contract this summer. These teams met on November 30th. St. Louis won 6-4. So St. Louis looking for a season sweep. Buffalo looking to even the season series. 1 Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific start between Vancouver and Detroit, the first of back-to-backs for Vancouver. So Vancouver's 34-12-5. They're 7-1-2 in their last 10 games. This is the first of two meetings between these teams. They'll meet again February 15th in Vancouver. For Vancouver, their top scorer over the last 12 months is Pettersson. 81 games, 42 goals, 62 assists, 104 points. For Detroit, they're 26-18-8 overall. They're 6-2-2 in their last 10 games. And Larkin, 75 games, 39 goals, 42 assists, 81 points. Their top scorer over the last 12 months. 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific start between Dallas and Montreal. So two of my three favorite teams are playing early, and then the third is as well. So I might be in a really good mood for the evening games. I might be kind of, down. But Dallas, Vancouver, and Boston will have control over that. Now, January 2nd, Montreal won in Dallas 4-3. That was a messy game for Dallas. They need to play much better in this one. They're 31-14-6 overall. They're 7-2-1 in their last 10 games. And Jason Robertson's their leading scorer over the last 12 months in 80 games. 30 goals, 61 assists, 91 points. So, looking to see if Robertson will get his goal scoring back to where it was earlier in his career, but either way, he's still scoring more than a point a game. Montreal 21-21-8 overall. They're 4-4-2 over their last 10. Nick Suzuki leading them in scoring over the last year. 81 games, 25 goals, 46 assists, 71 points. Not too shabby. Also at 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, we've got the Calgary Flames and the New York Islanders. The Islanders won this matchup in a shootout 5-4 on November 18th in Calgary. The Flames 24-22-5. They're 6-4 in their last 10. They've won 3 in a row. They're playing well. Kadri, their leading scorer over the last 12 months, 81 games, 21 goals, 40 assists, 61 points. The Islanders 22-17-2. They're 3-5-2 over their last 10, but they've won 2 in a row. Dobson, their leading scorer over the last calendar year, 78 games, 9 goals, 63 assists, 72 points. Those are very good point totals. 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific start between the Washington Capitals and the Boston Bruins. This is the first of 3 meetings. They'll meet again March 30th as well as April the 15th. Washington 22-20-7, and they're fading. They're 3-6-1 in their last 10 games. Strome's their leading scorer over the last 12 months, 78 games, 31 goals, 31 assists, 62 points. And Washington plays on Sunday against Vancouver, St. Louis, and Montreal, the other teams that also play back-to-backs. So for Boston, they're 32-10-9 overall. I did mention Strome being the leading scorer for Washington, right? 78 games, 31 goals, 31 assists, 62 points. I believe I did. If I didn't, I caught it there. But Boston's 32-10-9 overall. They're 8-2 over their last 10. And after a rough game against Calgary, they had a much better game against Vancouver. Which one shows up against Washington? Pasternak, their leading scorer over the last year. Yeah, no one's surprised. 82 games, 56 goals, 60 assists, 116 points. Pasternak is fantastic. 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Pacific, we got the Colorado Avalanche and the Florida Panthers. On January 6th, Florida went into Colorado and won a messy one, 8-4. Colorado 32-16-4 overall. They're 5-4-1 over their last 10. They're winless since the All-Star break. McKinnon has played 84 games over the last 365 days. He has 60 goals, 81 assists, 141 points. He is the number one point producer over the last year. For the Florida Panthers, they're 32-15-4 overall. They're 5-3-2 over their last 10 games. Tkachuk's their leading scorer over the last calendar year. 79 games, 30 goals, 62 assists for 92 points. And then we get into the 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific starts. We have 5 games starting then, beginning with the New Jersey Devils and the Carolina Hurricanes. On January 25th, Carolina won this matchup 3-2. These teams will meet again March the 9th. For the Devils, they're 25-21-3 overall. They're 4-6 in their last 10 games. Jack Hughes, rough start in his return. We'll see how he does tomorrow. He is their leading scorer over the last 12 months. 61 games, 23 goals, 54 assists, 77 points. Carolina's 29-16-5. They're 7-3 in their last 10. Aho, their leading scorer over the last 12 months. 78 games, 31 goals, 46 assists, 77 points. Right around a point per game, as Aho usually is. That should be a fun one, though. Tampa Bay and the Columbus Blue Jackets renew their rivalry here. They met on November 2nd. Columbus won 4-2. They'll meet again April the 9th. It's a rivalry going back to 2019, really. Tampa Bay 27-20-5. They're 7-3 over their last 10, but they have not looked like Tampa since returning from the break. We'll see if they get back to being the Lightning in tomorrow's game. Kucherov, 82 games, 43 goals, 81 assists, 124 points over the last 12 months. Those numbers are excellent. For Columbus, they're 16-24-10 overall. They're 3-5-2 over their last 10 games. Johnny Gaudreau's their leading scorer over the last 12 months. 79 games, 14 goals, 43 assists, 57 points. It has been a rough go of it for Johnny Gaudreau in Columbus, but he has been their top scorer. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific start in the Battle of Ontario. This is the fourth and final meeting. Ottawa's won 2 of the first 3. November 8th, Ottawa wins 6-3. December 7th, a 4-3 win for the Leafs. And December 27th, a 4-2 win for Ottawa. Toronto is 26-15-8 overall. They're 5-5 over their last 10 games. Mitch Marner, their leading scorer over the last 12 months. 77 games, 33 goals, 61 assists, 94 points. Very good numbers. On the Ottawa side, they're 20-25-2, but they're 6-2-2 in their last 10. They're trying to fight their way back into the hunt. Stützle, 79 games over the last calendar year, 28 goals, 60 assists for 88 points. So he's still above a point per game from that standard. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific start between Seattle and Philadelphia. This one should be interesting. Philadelphia has been better since the break as well. Seattle won this first matchup 2-1 in overtime on December 29th in Seattle. We'll see how it goes in Philly. The Kraken, 21-19-10 overall. They're 4-5-1 over their last 10 games. Jared McCann, their leading scorer over the last 12 months. 82 games, 37 goals, 33 assists, 70 points. Philadelphia, 27-19-6 overall. They're 5-5 in their last 10 games. Konechny, their leading scorer over the last year, because of course he has 65 games, 31 goals, 26 assists, 57 points, and he's coming off a Gordie Howe hat trick in their last game. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific start between the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Winnipeg Jets. Pittsburgh won this first matchup February 6th by a score of 3-0. And for the Jets, they need some goals. They need some offense. They need things to start turning around. Pittsburgh's 23-18-7. They might be kind of ornery coming off that loss against Minnesota. They're 4-3-3 in their last 10 games. Crosby leading them in scoring over the last year. 80 games, 37 goals, 47 assists, 84 points. Winnipeg 30-14-5 overall. They're 4-5-1 over their last 10 games. Scheifele, 72 games, 25 goals, 38 assists, 63 points. Their leading scorer over the last 12 months. Winnipeg's offense has dried up, and I look at the last 12 months, I'm like, wow, even from that standard, the numbers are a little underwhelming. So we'll see if Winnipeg can get it turned around. Then we have at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific, the Arizona Coyotes and the Nashville Predators. So at this point, I'll have 7 games going on, which isn't bad. I can track 7. So this is the third of 4 meetings. Arizona's already got the first 2. We'll see if they can win the season series. And then on March 28th, go for the sweep. Arizona won 7-5 on November 11th and 3-2 on January 20th. The Coyotes are 23-23-3. They're right on the cusp of maybe being in contention for the playoffs and maybe just falling out altogether. They're 3-6-1 over their last 10. Clayton Keller, their leading scorer since February 10th of last year, with 80 games played, 40 goals, 50 assists, 90 points. For Nashville, they're 26-23-2 overall. They're 4-5-1 over their last 10. Yossi, their leading scorer over the last year, 69 games, 16 goals, 46 assists, 62 points. And then at 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific. So this game will have my undivided attention for most of its runtime, and that's the Oilers and the Kings. Should be interesting. The Oilers winning 17 out of 18, looking to make it 18 out of 19. They did beat LA in their first meeting 3-2 in a shootout on December 30th. These teams will meet again February 26th as well as March the 28th. For the Oilers, they're now 30-16-1 overall. They are 9-1 in their last 10 games. McDavid, their leading scorer over the last 12 months, 74 games, 44 goals, 83 assists, 127 points. Those are excellent numbers. On the LA side, they're 23-15-10. They're 3-5-2 over their last 10. They stumbled their way into the All-Star break. Kempe, their leading scorer over the last year, 77 games, 36 goals, 38 assists, 74 points. So, let me know who you think win all those games in the comment section below. And now we'll talk about Sundays as well. So you're making your picks for 2 days worth of games here, because there's only 2 games on Sunday and they're both early. 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, the St. Louis Blues and the Montreal Canadiens. St. Louis won this first matchup November 4th by a score of 6-3. St. Louis 26-21-2. That record will change because they're playing Buffalo. They go from Buffalo to Montreal. 6-3-1 over their last 10. That could change as well. Buchnevich has been their second highest scorer over the last year. So that's what I did. Went with second highest scorers. Buchnevich in 72 games, 28 goals, 40 assists, 68 points. I think he's enjoying it in St. Louis. On the Montreal front, again, 21-21-8 overall, 4-4-2 over their last 10. Matheson, their second highest scorer over the last year, 81 games, 14 goals, 48 assists, 62 points. So really solid run for Matheson. And then at 1:30 p.m. Eastern, 10:30 a.m. Pacific, the Vancouver Canucks and the Washington Capitals. This is a rough go for Vancouver. You go from Carolina to Boston to Detroit and then Washington on back-to-backs. This is not an easy schedule. It'll be interesting to see how they do this weekend. So this is the first of 2 meetings between the Canucks and the Capitals. They'll meet again March the 16th. The Canucks are 34-12-5 overall. They're 7-1-2 over their last 10. JT Miller, their second leading scorer over the last year, 80 games, 36 goals, 67 assists, 103 points. And I still see the odd comment here and there about, I don't know that I like Miller on the Canucks. All right, well, I do. So, done with that. I've made that argument for years. I'm still there. For Washington, 22-20-7 their record, 3-6-1 over their last 10. Again, these records will all change from the Saturday games to Sunday, but I figured I'd just leave it on there. Ovechkin's been the second leading scorer for the Capitals over the last calendar year, 67 games, 21 goals, 33 assists, 54 points. So the slowdown started in the second half of last season. Maybe he's now a 20-goal scorer at the NHL level, or 25. Let me know your picks. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.